Welcome to this week's Places of Opposites. Today is August 15th, which means we're going back from August, oh my goodness, dates. Going back from the weekend prior to the 15th. So I think that makes it the 11th and 12th, all the way through to next week, which would make it the 22nd of August. So this is that 10-day window that overlaps with others before and after it. So it's kind of the flow of things. And it looks at kind of, well, the opposites. Things that we are aware of, things that are happening that we weren't aware of but are kind of driving the ship, how our mind is working, how our heart is working, where we've been coming from, where we're going to, and what the whole theme or resolution to a situation is. So, pray that whoever finds this video finds it in the moment that they need it. It speaks to them and it has the message they need to hear in that time, and that we receive clear communication from the Spring. As I was meditating this morning, release and replenish is one of my favorite meditation themes because it always reminds me that everything is right now and everything is temporary and everything is permanent. Meaning that we are all the time. And life is happening right now. The past, the present, the future are really, from a spiritual perspective, all right now. And so you can release anything you want to. It goes back to source. It goes back to its origin. So when you release people's energy out of your space, it goes back to them. When you release problems, it goes out to the universe to be resolved. And you can just really reset your space. And so releasing is huge, but even more important is replenishing and bringing in brand new energy, brand new essence. And it's as simple as breathing. It really is. Being present in your body, releasing, replenishing. Breathe in, breathe out. And just let go. And immediately you have more room for yourself and more perspective. And it's just, so if nothing else today, release and replenish. Yeah, I'm going to shuffle these cards. This is opposites. And this is the Archangel Power Tarot deck. Created by Radleigh, Valentine, and Doreen. And the major arcana cards are all various archangels. I think there's 15 or 16 that they focus on. And then the suits are all a specific archangel centric. So Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, and Ariel. All right. So today, as we look at the top card, what's in front of us, what we're aware of, where we are focused. And the bottom card, opposite of that. What's going on subconsciously, what's going on energetically in the cosmos, things we're not aware of. This card today looks like it's more where we're coming from, things that have recently resolved, as well as the mental perspective, your analytical wisdom. And opposite of that is your emotional wisdom, where we're headed. It was tricky. Where we're headed, and the center card, the theme, the resolution. All right. So, where we are, what we're aware of is peace, releasing the past, letting it go. This is really, where we are right now. We are so ready to just begin the next phase, to let the next phase start. It seems like we've been preparing for it and planning for it and in the process of creating it. And there's been a lot of effort, and it just seems like we can't quite finish the past, or we can't quite start where we are. And the message here is that it happens as it happens, and you are creating. It is starting. So allow yourself to be on that path. Allow yourself to be there in alignment with what you're doing, and allow it to unfold gently and in peace, and allow yourself to start walking the next steps. Oftentimes that's the hardest part, is we're ready for a change and then we keep doing the same things. And to really have the change, you have to change the action. But you don't have to do it in conflict or in struggle. It can just be a matter of choosing to allow it to unfold and choosing what you're going to do next. That's different than what you've been doing. And what we're unaware of, things that are happening underneath. Oh, another major arcana. Justice. This card is very often about clearing the mental clutter, as well as people and things and events. It can very well be, for some people, an actual court case or litigation, negotiation, but most of the time it's just about clearing the mental clutter and getting clarity and cutting away the distractions, cutting away the things that don't work, and finding that balance of perspective, finding your truth in the middle of it, and working in ways that allows things to be fair. It's not necessarily equal, but it's just, it's deserving, and it's balanced. So looking at these two as a dichotomy, yeah, I think there's a lot of mental drama that goes on, mental thought patterns and things. And those are the things that also need clearing. Like, you've been clearing the path for action, you've been clearing the path of things, but if your mental drama wheels, if your inner cinemas and your mental processes are still operating in the way that you're moving away from, then it's time to clear the distractions. Allow yourself to focus on where you really want to be, what you're really creating, where you're going. I also see that some people are feeling really lost right now. There's all kinds of things going on out in the outer world, all kinds of things going on in your personal lives, and it just leads to confusion. So again, that grounding, coming to center, and releasing all of the junk and finding yourself and replenishing, suddenly you'll be in that moment of clarity, of knowing what you want and where you want to go and what's important, and being able to find that focus again. Okay, where we're coming from. This is a major arcana day. The Lovers. And I do see where, for some people, this is a relationship. The primary emphasis of this card all along has always been decisions and choices and unity. Which relationships do you want in your life? And this is coming from the analytical wisdom perspective. So it's not only choosing because something feels good, it's choosing because you know it makes sense. And you're choosing because you know that it's the right thing to do for you. But as you're looking at what's right for you from an analytical point, this card really emphasizes, it says right on it, make the choices that come from your heart. So find that balance of knowing what's intelligent to do, but also make sure that it matches still what you're called to do. Because if the two don't come together, then there's probably some more figuring to do. And these choices are never the easy ones. That's why it's a Major Arcana card. These ones are not the, oh, obviously I need to take that path because X, Y, and Z. It's, I don't know which path to take. Neither one seems right. And that's where you're coming from, that balance of what your mind says and what your heart says. And this one is actually cueing you to be aware of what your mind says. It's telling you good information, but be rooted in your heart all the same. And where we're going, this is the card of being so close to the finish line, of it being right there around the corner, and you don't even know it. You can't even see it. It's just because it's just out of view. It's, you know, I imagine it's, I often imagine this card being kind of like the journey across the United States for Lewis and Clark, not knowing what was ahead, not really having maps, just knowing they were going that way and to see what they could see, having guides that had awareness of what was out there, but maybe hadn't been there, and never knowing if the next place around the bend was going to open into the ocean, or whether it was going to be more land, or, you know, anything, just not knowing. And I just see where we're at that point, or we're headed to that point where it just feels like you're out of energy and you don't know what else to do. You're just, it's like, this is all I can do. Kind of that, I've finished up everything I can do and I don't know how to start this new thing. And this new thing is right there, right around the bend. So don't give up. Don't give up. Keep going. It's right there. Keep your passion ignited. This is in the wisdom of the heart. So when you get tired, you feel like, you know, find that core passion. Why did you start it in the first place? What does it mean for you? Does it still mean the same thing today? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe you can release that and allow what it means for you today to be the thing that ignites your passion. But you're so close to attaining the thing that you wanted. So. And in the center, the High Priestess. This is about being your own wise counsel, about knowing your truth, about tuning into yourself and knowing that God resides within you, the Goddess resides within you. You are your own source. You have your inner voice. You have your own wisdom. And to really start tuning in, trusting it, working from it. Stop looking to external validation. You have your answers. You have your wisdom. You know. You have your feelings. You have your intuition. And it's starting to, it's all about aligning with it and really not just noticing it, or noticing it in hindsight, oh, I knew that was going to happen. But focusing on it, making it the pillar from which you act, the pillar from which you move, the pillar from which you discern what is right and wrong for you in a moment, and you start trusting yourself. Trust yourself. Act from your own wisdom. Doesn't have to make sense to anybody else. Probably won't make sense to anyone else because nobody else is you. You are the only you there is. And you are connected to the divine. And the divine speaks to you. And you know what your path is. You know what the right actions are. So even though in the past it seems like nothing was the right choice, you probably knew deep down. If you go deep down to the center of you, you know what the right things to do are for you. And some of them may not be easy. But when you follow your intuition, when you follow that path, ultimately you find peace. Ultimately, You find what's fair and just and works. And ultimately, you find your passion and the things that are right around the corner that you are creating for yourself. So tune in, listen, act, be you. It's a big week. 4 out of 5 cards, major arcana. So we're definitely, and of course, I just realized the 22nd is the day after the total solar eclipse. So this is the time of change, the time of release and replenish and grounding and knowing who you are. Take care. Thanks for joining me on this Places of Opposites. I'll be back tomorrow for another daily reflection. Be blessed, and we'll see you next time.